Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are making a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Yesterday we got this pushing going on, but as you can see we're only pushing and then we're never not pushing. So this was just for us to test the animations we made yesterday, which is looking pretty good. But now we need to selectively add it whenever we're pushing up against something, and then once that's done, then we can actually push the thing that we're trying to push. Real quick though, I wanted to give a big thank you to everyone on YouTube who is subscribed, because we just hit 300 subs today, which is a really cool milestone. So thanks everyone over there on YouTube who's liking and subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate it. And then for all the YouTube folks, I do stream live on Twitch over at Finding Focus Dev over on Twitch. And then all of my Twitch peeps, I've got a YouTube just at Finding Focus on YouTube. So I post all the VODs over there on YouTube, and it's cool to see the backlog. I think we're at like 507 episodes or something at this point, which is really cool to see. So thank you for the support. I really appreciate the 300. That is really, really cool. So thanks for that. Thanks for all the love. Yeah, dude, I don't know why. I was looking at the code and I was like, man, why am I so sleepy? It's 1 in the morning on a work night, dude. What do you mean, why are you sleepy? But yeah, that's, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I had some other work to do, catching up on like some work for my freelancing gig, so I got it mostly done. Okay, so let's take a look at where we do this change to push. Because we have to decide how we're going to handle only changing this stuff. Okay. So right now we're changing our animation based on the player's direction in the walk state, which isn't correct. We only want to do, dude, I should have done the nap. I should have done the nap. I needed it. Yesterday was a good nap. Yeah, that was good. We have to figure out how to change this animation only based on a collision. So I'm just gonna take it the really easy way first, and it's like we're gonna take this change animation method and we're gonna run it not in our player walk state, but in the collision with collidable map objects. So if we look at, I don't even know where we do that. Let's say if we're looking for the push up, then we need a top collide. If player top collides, okay. So here, this is player to map object collision detection in our scene. So let's say if we top collide, then let's take our player and change the animation to the push upwards animation, and let's just see what that looks like. I don't know what that'll do. I don't know if it'll update over time. Well, it doesn't look like it's, oh. Okay, that's what I thought it would do is, oh, because a pushable is a different type of thing. Oh, okay, so maybe we can do it whenever we're doing the pushable detection, but see how it's not updating. It does change it, but it doesn't update and it doesn't revert back to idle. So maybe we need to go into the pushables collision. Where are we doing collides with pushables? Render pushables. I feel like I'm a night owl, so I do like the late night streams, but my eyes can hardly stay open, so that's probably not great. Okay, so here's where we're cycling through our pushables. Let's put pushables collision here. Player to pushables collision, so we can find it with grep a little easier. And if we top collide, we're going to change animation to a push up, and now we should not collide or do the push up on a tree, but only on a pushable. Okay, nice. It still doesn't update. There's a lot of things that could be going wrong here. What's kind of interesting is like the place we had it here, all we did was call a change animation to push up if our player direction was facing up. So I'm kind of curious if we put in the walk state here that we change our animation to push up whenever we're in walk state. That does keep the animation. So I'm kind of curious, maybe... I guess let's take a look at the change animation method and look at what it's literally doing. All it does is take the current animation from our animations table at the given name. And the animations table is a dot animations here in our init, and that is defined in our entity defs. See, our def.animations is what our create animations gets. So, this is crazy. Okay, so change animation gets us change animation. All change animation does is, I'm not even seeing it now. But we do have, see, we have this idle state and a walk state. So I'm wondering if we're just not setting it in one of those. Okay, I'm gonna take a peep at our entity class and see if change animation is in here. No. Where do we define it? There it is. It's in the entity class. It's a method on the entity class. Okay, so dot animations is a table full of... This is crazy. Yeah, let's just walk it through, because self.animations is a table of all of our animations. And what's an animation? Well, we have an animation class, and an animation is a texture, a interval looping, a number of frames, a current frame, a times played, and the update, it'll cycle through the frames. So if any animation gets updated, it will just take whatever frames we pass it, and it would cycle through those quads at a certain interval set here. And whenever our current frame is the last frame, we reset it. We count how many times we played, which we aren't even using, but we do it. And then we have a get current frame method that can pull out the index of the current frame. So that's all an animation is just one of the many entity defs that we put in there. Let's take a look at entity defs, and we'll see entity defs. We should have capitalized it, but see, our animations is just a table of keys. So we have a key of walk left, which is a table in itself of all of these things: texture, frame, interval, looping status. So why is it that when we change our animation to push up in our scene, it's looping through? It's looping through the animation. Yet, because we give it these 3 and 4, yet when we change our animation based on a collision in our, where was that, where we do a player, this is why we name things player to pushable, and then we can hop right here. We did that here in our scene, and we changed the animation. So I guess, oh, well, we are doing, oh, the scenes player. Yeah, we can, not that it really matters to do a global player here, but I don't think that will change the pushing. Yeah, so why is it that we don't update our animation for the push over here? I don't know. We're doing the same thing, which is just changing animation to push up, but we are not updating our animation for our player entity here in scene, are we? Let's take a look at our, would it be the player class? It is in the player walk state. Okay. So I'm assuming that in our walk state, we are doing something like updating our animation. We change animation. I don't see where we update it. It might be that, you know what, let's try to take this logic and we'll move it into the player. Let me think this through. Where were we just at? Oh my god, I get so lost. Okay. Okay, so let's open a new window here. And we're gonna hop to, see, this is where we need to do the change animation. But in the scene, we want to actually update our animation in the walking state. So when we're in the player walk state, which is where? Okay. In our player walk state, if instead of checking if the scene is shifting in the scene, to check our player against the pushables. We can do that in the walk state because you can only be pushing on something if you were walking, if that makes any sense. So look, to do only push if against collidable. Yes, that's what we're doing. So let's for right now comment this out. And we're going to just yank all of this and paste it into our walk state. Oh man, this is what kills me. There's no copy paste within buffers in Tmux. What the heck? What does that... How is that even possible? Okay, if I use a mouse like a schmuck, what just happened? I use a mouse for 2 seconds and I break everything. Okay, I can literally copy and paste it. Okay. With a mouse. Like a baby's toy. Okay. So now we've got this player to pushables collision in our walk state. Now, we don't check the self-shifting, we check the scene view. And if it's shifting, if it's not shifting, that's when we're going to check not the map self row, but the scene view map row. Scene view map column. And let's see if we just get our collision in our walking state, and if that's working okay, then we can try to change. Okay, we are colliding with the pushable, so it looks like the walk state is working. So now let's just try to change the animation here in our walk state now. So it's going to be change animation, and if we top collide, we want to change the animation to push up. Let's try that. And let's hope we animate. Let's hope we animate. Yes. Okay. So what isn't happening is we don't stop pushing when I let go of the up key, but if we're not colliding with... Okay. So this is one thing I've been needing to add is an actual idle state for our character, which we don't have. So we'll have to add that, but that's looking good. That's looking like he's pushing the boulder. So let's add the others. If we left collide, we're going to push left. If we right collide, we push right. Okay, and push down. Okay, let's try it. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And what's kind of cool is like that doesn't... I think I actually like this because I was thinking we would add the push animation on walking into any collidable. But if it's not able to be pushed, should we go into the push animation? Because we don't want to go into the push animation walking into a body of water, right? Or... Yeah, it's like I don't know if we need that, because I kind of like the ability to signal to the player that, like, hey, if you're walking along, it's like, oh, why is he pushing it? It's like, oh, that stone is he's wanting to push it for some reason, and then it doesn't move, and then it's not until you beat the dungeon and get the Tunic of Strength that you maybe piece it together, be like, ooh, now I'm strong now. Maybe I wear that thing and then I can push the things that I haven't been able to push yet. So that's the kind of goal. So let's print up the state of our character, and we'll see that we're only ever in walk state once we become walk state. So we'll just have to do a thing where we say if our output list is empty, then we just change our player to an idle state, which just changes its idle animation to whatever current direction he's facing. So let's take out this old pushables collision that was in our scene logic, and I guess we'll go. Let's see. There is a state. Oh lordy! I know we are printing up the state for our character at some point. Maybe it is where we're holding the debug option. Is it 3? No? Play state. It's got to be in the play state, right? Okay, if keyboard is down, I thought we had an animation or a state, a player state. Wow, there's a ton of old comments in here we got to clean out. Okay, so let's see. 5, we have the map location, the X and Y direction, player state. Okay, we've already got it on the 5 debug. Okay, so see how it says player state idle, and then we become walking, and then if we let go of walk, we're just always in walk. So how are we in our walk state deciding to change to the idle animation? That's kind of what I'm curious about. So entity walk state, it should be player. Yeah, player walk state. Okay, so where, if anywhere, are we changing to idle here? Nope. Idle. We do it here. Okay, trigger idle. Okay, so instead of, we have a trigger idle. Yeah, we're looking, if we're not touching anything on the screen and our output list is nothing, then change, or actually just refresh our animation. Okay, we have to refresh it so it doesn't start us on the wrong frame when we come back to it, but then we change our animation. But what we really need to do is change our state. So if we look at when we go from an idle to a walk, because that is working. Let's see, states, and then idle. We basically say change state. If our output list has any output in it, we change our state. So that's changing us back to walking, but we need changing us to, and we can't copy and paste in Tmux for whatever reason. Let's change it. We change our state here to player idle if we're idling, and we're already setting the correct animation. But what this will do, what this should do is if we let go of an input, it should change us to the idle, no longer pushing. So it would only be animating the push if we're actively holding a direction towards a pushable object. And we change our state to player idle. So let's see if that works. It's not changing. And if we look at our debugging, it says we're in idle, but it's updating our push-ups. So the state is changing. We did change that, but our idle... Maybe we have to change our state before we change our animation. But then as soon as we... see, and I don't know if we... I don't know how that works. Okay, so we're in idle. So for some reason, in our idle state, we are updating our push animation. I guess we're just updating our current animation. Because this has got to be where it's doing it. If we take out this refresh in the idle, let's see if it stops updating it. Wow, it doesn't. Okay, so I was way wrong. If our input list is greater... Okay, so where was it doing it? We're rendering our player here. And we just render our quad at our get current frame. And our get current frame is based on our current animation. So we need to change our current animation to be not a push up, but we change our animation here. So why, if output list is nothing, change animation to idle, why wouldn't it work there? Okay, let's not change our state just yet, but we're changing our animation to idle if there's no input list in the walk state, and it still updates. So what is going on there? Maybe we're still technically colliding with the pushable. And if you look, yeah, our fingers are going over the collidable. So I'm wondering if we're still technically colliding with it. Let's do a quick test of just printing something up on screen and counting any time we collide. And if that's racking up all the collisions, then we know that we need to do our change animation a little differently. So let's go into our pushables, player to pushable collision. Okay, so anytime, let's just do it for a top collide. So we're going to say top collides count. Top collides count gets incremented. Okay. And then we're just going to print up where we print up the idle state. Not there. I always forget where it's at. Here it is. Okay, so the play state. After we do our player state, let's put in this print of collide count, and it's going to be our global variable that we just set of top collides count. Okay, so let's see. So top collide count is 0. Yeah, it is detecting the collision over and over and over again. I guess that makes sense. Well, and what's weird is, like, I'm not holding up right now, so it's kind of leaving him in collision range. And it does, I mean, it's clearly overlapping, but we have this kind of like faux collision going on over here. So I'm wondering if we're just not setting our Y position or our player's position. It might be like an off by 1 pixel error that we're kind of just not shifting them. Okay, so that at least indicates the issue, but the solution would be what? We just tweak our players' X and Y reset so that when we move, we're not still colliding. So let's go to our player to pushable collision, and we'll say let's do some testing here. If we top collide, let's just say we shift ourselves 3 pixels lower than where we were shifting, just so we see if it stops the issue. But we need to change back to idle from a walk on a no input. So we need to go to our walk state, and if we got to turn this idle back on. Okay. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Okay, it moves. Why is it moving us that way? Okay, well, it was, if we top collide, we're moving our Y to be, smaller. We need this to be bigger. Lower on the screen so that we don't collide with it. Okay, so it is clearly wrong, but it does take us out of the push animation when we let go and go back into idle. So let's see if we're off by 1 over here. Damn it. So I think what's happening is we're in idle. Well, what's weird is, you know what? I actually don't get why it's still jacked up. Because even if, see, look, our player state is idle here, so it has to do with our current animation. So it's not that we're colliding, even though we are colliding. It's that because even though we are colliding, we shouldn't be changing back to push up because we're not even in the player walk state. So we should be able to just change our current animation to idle if there's no inputs coming in. So let's do that, where we can say if there's no inputs, something like this. In our idle state, when we're checking this input list, we can say, if we have no inputs, we're going to change our animation to idle whatever our direction is. Okay, that looks to have worked. Oh. It does. Oh, that's kind of interesting. He kind of yeah, this is weird. He goes to, okay, so maybe we only go to our change to push up if our direction is up, because he's colliding with the boulder, but we're moving side to side, so it's changing to push upwards even though our up isn't being held. So we need to go and say we only go to push up if we top collide and our player's direction is up. So if our player's direction is equal to up, then we're going to change the animation to push up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that looks like it fixed it. Nice, nice, nice. That looks good, man. Okay, so let's do the same thing. You know, we check. It's a little tricky because we're technically colliding with the object even if we're not inputting stuff. So inputting a direction. So if our direction is right and we right collide, that's when we go to a push right. Okay. You know what we need to do is, this is in our walk state, but we also need the corresponding idle state. And say, well, no, actually, it might work. Nice. We aren't refreshing. We need to refresh the animation, because depending on where the animation leaves off, wow, it looks really cool though. Yeah, we need to refresh the animation. So we'll refresh whatever the push animation was whenever we let go of all the inputs, maybe? Because we have a refresh Where do we use it? Yeah, this refresh. We refresh the animation for our push. I guess we could refresh it, yeah, whenever we let go of everything. So in our idle state, if we're not holding anything, we're gonna go to our animations, push animation for whatever direction we're facing, and just refresh. And why do we have this twice? It's for... We don't need this twice. Let's see if that fixes the issue, though. It's hard to... Okay. It's the same thing with, like, the step, the stutter step. We wanted him to switch feet no matter how fast you press it. We didn't want the frame timing to get changed, so... Oh, this is bad. We're moving up a whole pixel on our push left or push right. That looks really good. Okay, so our push left is fine. Our push right is off by 1 pixel. No, it isn't. Why was it off by... Ah, it's weird. Oh, this is looking good. And what's cool is he won't... He's at this point, he won't push anything that isn't a pushable object. So he's not going to push up against water or push up against a sign or anything. But if it's a pushable object, he's like, you know, he's all up on it. This is cool. This looks really good. Okay, I think we don't need... If output list is 0 and touch list is 0, I don't think we need 2 of these. Okay. And that makes me think we didn't need... See, why does he... He shifts his position every once in a while. He'll shift his position by like 1 pixel off, like that. See, why does he shift his butt up? I don't know why he does that. And you know what? Maybe... I think if the frames for pushing to the side started with the low one, it might give a little more motion to him. Because every time we refresh, he's at the upwards. But just like how we have the steps, if we have the first frame be a little more motion, then it might look a little faster. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, it's in our entity defs. Let's look at the push right, and let's just swap the frames. And let's see how that looks. See, it should be... Oh, that looks... Why? It's shifting his Y position for some reason. Why does it do that? Because his feet... The line of the bottom of his feet should be the same. Oh my gosh. See, like that. Like... On this one, his feet are lined up, and then if we're on this side... What the heck, it does it sometimes. Now it's working. Okay, I think I do like the lower frame first. I think I like that. So let's go and swap the push left as well. But we keep getting this issue of like a off by 1 pixel. Yeah, like this. Why is he shifting up like that? It's not like it fixes itself like halfway through. I don't get why it starts wrong and then it's fixed. Okay, this is looking good though. Okay. I don't know how to track down that bug where he's resetting his like this. See, cuz look, if we look at our our Y position isn't even changing, but it's rendering him weird. There's got to be some sort of secret value we're tweaking here, because the bottom of his feet should be the same height. Especially because our Y position's the same height. And it's fixed half the time. See, like that. That's fixed. Why does it randomly fix itself? Oh, that's a... Oh, we might... Oh, it looks like it's anytime our Y... Or anytime our X is a non-integer? No. Because here it's messing up. Our X is a integer, but our Y is a 47.8. I'm thinking that 0.8 is what's screwing it up. Because, like, if we had... Yeah, we shouldn't be able to have points of pixels. Yeah, we really shouldn't be able to have points of pixels. So let's do... Yeah, we have to round our position out. Yeah, we really shouldn't be at fractions of pixels. I guess what we can do is in our idle state, we just round to the nearest pixel. So in our idle state, yeah, we just need to... Well, I guess we would round to the nearest pixel before we swap to idle state. That way we don't have to do it over and over and over once we're already rounded. So let's go to our walk state and just try to, when we change to idle, when we change the state to idle, let's just, for now, just try to do the X position of our player, and we'll say we get a math.floor just to test if this will do anything. Self.player.x but floored. So it'll truncate off, always round down for the player X. So let's see if our player X is now always a 0 by the time we let go. It looks choppy. It looks choppy. Let's try to... Yeah, it looks really choppy because what we should be doing is rounding any number 5 and below down in any number 5 and above. Exclusive upwards. So let's... Oh, and then here we have the same thing again, where we have the same thing twice. All we do... Yeah, we don't need this. Okay, so we need to render... Yeah, how do we... If the numbers... If the remainder... I don't know how to do it. Is there a round function? No? Rounded? There's just a seal and a floor. Okay. Okay, so we need to save the remainder of our player X, and then we need to... Would we multiply... We have to get the modulo, right? So we say player X moduloed by the floor of player X. Does that make sense? So we take our X, we divide by the number of our X floored without the decimal, and then we save the remainder, and then we can say if the remainder is greater than or equal to 5, then we want to round up. So we would say, okay, well now our player.x gets a math.steal round up. And then we would round down otherwise. Gotta be an easier way to do this. Okay. No idea if that modulo math is right. It does look smoother on the X. Oh, well. Well, let's see. Let's try it for the Y's as well. So we'll do the same thing and say, well, now we're gonna get the Y remainder. And if the remainder is greater than 5, I feel like I gotta be using modulo wrong. Because the remainder wouldn't be... I don't know. Let's just see how it looks, and then maybe ChatGPT can help us. Actually, that doesn't look... It doesn't look horribly... That doesn't look jittery like it did used to look. Does it fix our issue, though? No way, is that it? Well, I can't get him to be stuck in that weird place. Did that really fix it? Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing him at that weird location of the fraction of a pixel. And the rounding looks working because we have the decimals while we're moving, like diagonally, but then as soon as we're done, it rounds us out to the nearest pixel, the nearest whole pixel. Part of me wants to ask ChatGPT if that even makes sense, or like, did I do that correctly? Because I don't believe that I did that correctly. But it works. I'm gonna choose to believe in myself. Yeah, I did it. It works. It's perfect. Totally right. So we can say that this is like a round player to nearest whole pixel. I think that fixed it. Okay, I think we might call it there. We've got our pushing working animated, and also if we let go of the direction, we've got each direction working. And it's only pushing on pushable objects. It doesn't push on a tree. I think I'd like this because then when people are exploring, it'd be like, whoa, why is he pushing this? Why does he want to push this? So I like that kind of signaling. This is cool. Okay. Yeah. Let us commit, and we'll say that we added push animations for player against pushables. Cool. And we'll push that. Push that and call it a night. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. I think the move is we get to actually push things tomorrow. Like actually move the thing we're pushing. So that's what we'll do. I think I'll have to think about how we're going to do that, because we kind of have to take inventory of the scene that we're at and look like, hey, if we're pushing left for longer than a second on a pushable object, then we need to check the tile just on the other side of that and check the scene's tiles table as well as the above ground level tiles table for any collidable map objects. Because if there is a collidable map object in the tile next to it, then we can't push a rock on top of a fence, for example. So we'll have to do that, and we'll find someone to raid out here. And you know what? Basie is still streaming, and he raided us yesterday, so we're gonna go return the favor. But thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope you all have a good night.